Welcome back. Chances are that you've already seen a census form in the mail, but have you filled it out? Here to give you some important census information, we welcome Rachel Hampton, a local census office manager. Thank you for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
I know we've already gotten our form at our house, and a lot of people have been talking about getting theirs. I know some folks got it, filled it right out, sent it right back, and that's what you hope folks will do, right?
Absolutely. For every 1% in the increase of mailback rate, they can save up to $90 million in taxpayer dollars. So it's important to get it mailed in by April 1st.
Now, some of the basics that people always want to know. Do I have to fill it out?
Well, if you don't fill it out, we're going to have to come to your door. We want a complete count of the United States. What it does is it distributes $400 billion in funds that help your roads, your schools. So it's very important for you and your communities.
And we've had some talks earlier, in fact, one of our Better Business Bureau segments about people asking about the door-to-door census information and when that happens, how it happens. And so you're saying that if you don't take the time to fill out the form and mail it back, you could be getting a visit at your door.
Absolutely. It'll probably start around late April, early May. We will be knocking on doors, and for every census form we didn't receive back. So get them mailed back April 1st.
Just easier for everybody.
It is
to
much
go ahead
easier.
And do that. Now, some other questions people often have is what information is needed? What are some of the questions that people will expect to have to answer?
Well, I brought in a form, actually my form that was mailed to me. Names, birth date, how many is living in the household. It does go in to ask, it doesn't ask about income this time. Nothing. This is actually the shortest form here since 1790 when the first census was conducted. So 10 questions, 10 minutes, and it's done.
No, so not a hard thing to do.
Absolutely not.
And there are resources if you are Spanish speaking, different things to help out if you need assistance with your form?
Absolutely. On each form there is a phone number down at the bottom for assistance, or we have a Be Counted and questionnaire assistance centers set out all through the communities.
And we have some information I think that we're going to give you with the website so you can get more information and a phone number if you need help. And one thing you were talking about earlier is if you don't get that form, you can still go places and get it to make sure that you're still counted if it hasn't arrived in the mail.
Absolutely. It looks a little bit different. It does say Be Counted on it. The forms looks a little bit taller than the one you would normally get. But if you fill it out, then you'll be counted, and hopefully we won't come knocking at your door looking for the forms.
And again, as you mentioned earlier, it's really important to have this information available. What do these numbers tell our government about services and everything that communities have in their area?
Well, the population count, that's where your federal funds are distributed for schools, nursing homes, roads. Also, it goes into the congressional seats. I mean, the House of Representatives, it's going to be how many seats each state has. So it's very important to get it back.
Well, you've heard some great information on why it's important and how the process works, so hopefully you can get that done. And the April 1st deadline, you typically want to receive it by April 1st, so
yes.
Try to not wait until then to mail it,
Absolutely.
Right?
If it's after, continue to mail them, please.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to share that information with us, and hopefully we'll all get those forms filled out and sent back. It's interesting. You work for the census, but you still got one that you have to fill out.
Absolutely. I received mine.
So that means everybody should do it. We will be right back with one last check of your forecast.